Hey everybody, I'm just going to be doing a little mixing slash mastering tutorial, or just kind of showing how I produce my music, because I saw some people asking in the comments of my most recent covers and I wanted to show. So I'm going to show the new Lovejoy snippet first, which is Paint and Display, because that's where I saw the comments for it. So yeah, I'm just going to play it and then I'll explain all the different parts to it.
Passed away, and the heavens got a paint display. The blessed always get their way on a secret invasions out in salvation. And just like sweets, I took the pills they sold to me, and I've been dining up my sleep. Oh, I'm your creation, burn me salvation.
Yeah, so I guess I'll just start off with the vocals, because they're probably the most complex. I mean, I have so many plugins on my vocal chain. I'll go through the simple ones. So first three is all Nectar. We have a slight auto-tune, just because I'm not a perfect singer. I'm trying to get a better voice, but you know, it helps. It's literally like 10%. It's barely doing anything, but it helps. So slight auto tune. This is breath control. So let me solo the vocal here. It basically just takes out all my breaths.
Passed away.
I'll click breaths only, and you'll see it. Yeah, it just gets rid of my breaths.
And just like sweet.
Yeah, it just quiets my breaths. But this is Nectar de-esser. So it's just a de-esser. It makes it less harsh. You know what a de-esser does if you're watching this video. This is an EQ just to take out a bunch of lows, because when I was recording this, I was way too close to my mic and there was a lot of low end. I'll show you what it sounds like without it real quick. This is without the EQ.
Passed away,
And this is with it.
Heaven's got a paint display. The blessed always get their way on a soup.
Yeah. It may sound a little bit thin soloed, but like it sounds good in the mix. That's kind of always what I say. Anyways, I run that into two compressors, both from Analog Obsession, a FET compressor or an 1176, and then an LA2A or LALA. Both of these are from Analog Obsession, and they're really great. I do quite a lot of compression on my vocals.
Passed away, and the heavens got a paint display.
Like that's about 30 decibels of compression right there, just in two compressors, because I like that compressed sound and it sounds really nice. Anyways, after that I go to back to another Nectar de-esser, just to really make sure that there's no harsh frequencies. And then this is like a secret sauce here, the Ferric TDS Mach 2. I put this on Mixglue on about every single instrument I have, and it just makes it sound so much better. Here's what it sounds like without it.
Passed away,
And then here's with it.
passed away, and the heavens got a paint display.
It just sounds so much better, you know what I mean? Anyways, after that, I run it into Fresh Air with 7 on both of these, which just makes it a little bit brighter. It just boosts the high end. Then I run it into another EQ, just taking away sub frequencies and just doing some tone control. I noticed it was a bit too harsh around this range, so I took that down a few decibels, and then I noticed that it was a bit too present, so I took down some of the mids. And then I run it into Soothe 2, which I know if you're probably watching this video, out of all the mixing tutorials on YouTube, you probably don't have Soothe 2, but in all realness, you don't need Soothe 2.
Passed away,
Like, this sounds fine without it.
passed away, and the heavens got a paint display.
Like, there's barely even a change, honestly. It hardly does anything on this vocal chain. Like, Sooth 2, it's not necessary. You don't really need it. You can copy this vocal chain without Sooth 2 and without Nectar and stuff, and you'll be perfectly fine. Anyways, this is just to like see what the vocal's doing. This doesn't actually do anything. This is just a graph plugin.
Passed away, and the Revan's got a paint display.
Yeah, that just shows me like what's actually going on and stuff. And then I just run it into a mono because I really want to make sure that my vocals are mono because I don't like stereo vocals much. So yeah, I don't need this here. I know it's mono.
Passed away, and the Revan's got a
Like it literally does nothing here, so this is not necessary. Anyways, yeah, that's the vocals, and then I have that at -3 decibels because it was a little bit loud, and I send it to a slight reverb over here. You can hear the vocals in there, yeah. Anyways, that's the vocals, and yeah, on to I'll do guitars next. So, in my opinion, the most important thing about guitars is just the way you space them. Like, for example, I have 3 rhythm guitars, right? I'll solo those rhythm guitars here. This is what all the rhythm guitars sound like. And if I were to get rid of these that are panned left and right, which are the double track guitars, and I had just the mid guitar, it sounds lacking, you know? It doesn't hit as hard as it should. So when you're recording guitar tracks and you want to make this style of music that I do and stuff, which is just indie rock, definitely record double track guitars. You don't have to have this mid guitar track. I just like doing it because it adds a little bit, and I can play around with like different chords in one guitar track and then have these playing the same. But yeah, so just definitely make sure you double track your guitars, I would say, because it sounds really nice. Anyways, on the double track guitars, I have Ferric TDS Mach 2 on Mixed Glue again because it just makes it sound so good. And I have a slight EQ, just boosting some of the mids and taking away room for the kick drum. And that's all that's on these. And then for the mid guitar, I have another Ferric TDS Mach 2. This time on gentle leveling, so it just kind of compresses the signal a little bit. Then I have that running into an imager, which just makes it have more stereo width. And then I have that running into pan left, which is just Ableton lock plugin. If you don't use Ableton, you can literally just pan your guitar left, and it'll do the same thing basically, or give a similar result. Then I have M equalizer, which I boosted way too much of the high end over here. I don't know why I did that. Don't do this. Don't do this right here. This is not very good to do. And then I boosted some of the mids. But yeah, that's for the mid guitar. Yeah. I would not boost as much high end as I did in here. That's like just not good. I don't know what I was thinking. Anyways, onto the lead guitar, which is this. So first of all, I have it panned 18 to the right, just to make it have some stereo width. And then I have it starting off with Ozone 11 EQ, just boosting, again, way too much high. I don't know why I did this for this track. I guess I wanted it to be really airy. And then I boosted around 3000 just to give it some clarity and stuff. And then I have that going into Ferric TDS Mach 2 again with gentle leveling, just compressing the signal. And then ozone EQ, just making room for the kick. Now, going on to the bass, which is this. You may notice the bass tone sounds horrible, but that's because this is not a bass at all. At least I thought it wasn't. Okay, never mind. This is a bass. My bad. I thought this was a guitar that I pitched an octave down because that's usually what I do. Hold on. Okay, this is a bass. Never mind. My bad. I'm completely wrong. Yeah, no, this is not a good bass tone, but these are the plugins that I have on it. Ferric TDS Mach 2, just on the bass preset, and then I have some EQ here. Just, you can copy this if you want. It's the Ozone Bass Boost plugin or preset. Yeah, it's very simple. It's not a good bass sound, but like it works. And I think it sounds good in the mix, so I like it. Anyways, onto drums, the most important part. I use MT Power drum kit for most of my covers and most of my music. Some of them I record my live drums because I do play drums, but this works just as well, and I love the sound of this plugin. Yeah, it's nice. I have that going into Sweet Drums by Analog Obsession, which is such a good drum plugin. You should really get this. This is the only thing I put on my drums most of the time, and it sounds like amazing. Yeah, I would get this plugin if you produce music. It's really, really good. Really, anything from Analog Obsession is really good. I use so much stuff from Analog Obsession. They're insanely good. Anyways, here's what the drums sound like. Yeah. I feel like the kick could definitely be a little bit quieter, but I wanted the kick to be purposely loud in this track because I knew it was going to be a YouTube short and most people would be watching on their iPhone speakers, which doesn't have a lot of bass, so I did that on purpose. But, yeah, and then I do a sidechain with the kick. So basically, I send the drum kit to a send over here, labeled kick, and then I have an ozone EQ on that, and I just solo this so it's only doing the kick, and then this gets sent to this bus up here, which has every instrument but the kick, or but the drums. And basically when it plays, the kick will compress everything else and bring it down about a decibel. Yeah, it doesn't do a whole lot, but it's a very slight difference, and it just adds to the whole track by making the kick a little bit clearer. But yeah, that's basically everything. And then on the master, I have M equalizer boosting some of the bass a lot, and then taking down some of the highs. And then I have span just to see what the EQ looks like. And then I have Relife, which is such a good plugin. I cannot stress to you how much I use this plugin. This is like the best. This thing is so good. I mean, here, this is what it sounds like without it. And then here's with it. Oops, here's with it.
The blessed always get their way on the secrets evasions out in salvation. And just like sweet took the girls they sold to me.
Yeah, it just makes it sound so like nicely produced. Now, I probably turned up this too much. I would normally put this at about 20.
Passed away, yeah, the heavens got a paint display.
And not like 35 how I had it, but yeah, that's all of the mixing and stuff on this cover, little short cover here. But yeah, now we can go to one of my songs. I'm just gonna quickly make sure I am still actually recording here. Okay, yes, beautiful, nice. I've never done this before, so I don't know how well it's gonna work. Alright, yeah. I will go to ID 10. This is a new song that's coming out as a single probably sometime this month. I don't know. I just need to get the cover art for it. I'm getting one of my friends to do it. I will not be telling you the name of this song. It's kind of an ironic joke there. But I'll just play a little bit of, I guess I'll play the pre-chorus and the chorus for you.
I don't know if you're gone.
Forget to turn on the drums. One thing about MT Power Drum Kit is if you don't donate to them, you have to go and press start every time you launch the project, and I always forget to do that.
I don't know if you're going to love me like you love him. And I can't be so sure when you walk out the door.
Anyways, that is the chorus and pre-chorus of this. So let me break it down. Vocals, pretty simple. I think it's the exact same vocal chain as the last one. Yeah, it is the exact same vocal chain as the last one. So,
But I don't know if you're going to love me like you love him.
and then I have a background vocal here.
To love me like you love him.
Which the only difference is that this has ozone imager at the end, just giving it stereo width.
To love me like you love him. Be so sure when you walk out the
Oh, I also turned the auto tune heavier on this one because it's not that noticeable in the background vocal if you have auto tune in the background vocal. But yeah, and then for the guitars, I'll solo them real quick. So these panned guitars are the main ones that we're gonna focus on. They're just doing octaves on some notes that I liked, but they have the same mixing as the last track. Just EQ, little compressor right here. Pretty simple. They're louder in this track than on the cover because they're you know, giving more of the melody than the main mid guitar, which is just doing the chords. But yeah, and then we have the lead here, which is, I forget what this is. Right, yeah, this is like the main riff that kind of plays throughout the whole song. You see this is just everywhere. I'm a very color oriented person, so I have Ableton to set every new recording to a different color. So like you can obviously see what's playing where. Like you can obviously tell that this is just copy and pasted like everywhere. Yeah. Anyways, onto the bass, I suppose. Because the mid guitar here and the lead here are the exact same mixing. On the bass, we have same mixing, same EQ. We have Soothe 2 this time. Just doing this, which is a preset I found. I don't know where. This bass, like I was saying on the other track, is actually just a pitch down guitar, because I didn't feel like grabbing my bass when I was recording this, and it ended up sounding pretty fine. So here's what it sounds like. Find the humming, that was me. Yeah, it's literally just a pitch down guitar. Just pitch down an octave. You can see it right here. This is what it sounds like normally, without the pitch. Yeah, it's pretty obviously a telly when it's not pitched down an octave. But I just I just recorded this with my white telly that you see me use in all my covers and promo videos and stuff. Yeah, pretty simple mixing, pretty simple track, honestly. And then the only difference here in the master is I have Soothe 2 at the beginning, doing this thing. I don't know what this does. Let me unsolo the bass. Yeah, again, Soothe 2, it doesn't, like, it's just to push it to the final step, if you know what I mean. Like, you don't need this if you're just mixing your own music and stuff. It's not necessary. Soothe 2 is just to help control resonances. But anyways, this is just pretty standard EQ. I'm just taking away some of the highs. I boosted some of the mids here, which I usually wouldn't do. I would usually take down the mids, but I felt like it wasn't full enough, so I boosted them. And I boosted the bass here, because I like bass in my tracks. And then I have it going into, what is this? Analog Obsession Max Bay, which I just boosted the lows, and yeah, as simple as that. I just boosted the lows, and I boosted some of the mids. Because I wanted a more analog EQ sound, and I know this has, like, this is modeled off of something, I don't know what. And I have that going into Real Life again. You can copy these settings if you want. Again, Real Life is just it's so good. It's so amazing. Then I have that going into Span, so I can see what the EQ curve actually looks like. Because I find that a lot of EQ plugins, they aren't actually that precise with what they're showing you.
Like
I don't know if you can see that. There's a clear difference between this and the MEQ when I was playing it. I just like this for mastering and for seeing what it actually looks like, and for reference tracks. For this, I used one of Good Kid's songs as a reference. And I just played it next to it and tried to match the EQ curve. So use reference tracks, by the way. It's a very important thing. But yeah, that's all there really is to this. If you like what you heard in this little chorus section, make sure to stick around and see my channel. See when it comes out. Anyways, I'm also doing the same kick compression trick. I just run it to here and then run that to the bus, which compresses everything a little bit when the kick hits. But yeah, pretty simple. Yeah. Anyways, that's about it for that. Let's see if there's any other songs I want to go over. Um, I'll go over this. This song I made a while back, and I scrapped it because I couldn't figure out good lyrics for it. See, there's no vocals on this one. I couldn't figure out what I wanted the vocals to be, so I just scrapped it. But I think it has some cool dynamics to it, and I want to show it. Hold on, I forgot to enable the drum kit. I'm so sorry to ruin the listening experience. I think this is a cool song. I just like could not figure out the vocals or the lyrics for the life of me. It is a cool melody though. I do like it. Maybe I'll come back to it sometime. I just couldn't really figure out what I wanted to do with it. Yeah, I mean, this is a pretty simple mix as well. I think I have the exact same presets. Yeah, this is double tracked, Ferric, EQ, mid guitar, same thing, lead, same thing, I think. Yeah, same thing. And then bass, same thing, just without soothe. 2, an empty power drum kit. I didn't put the analog obsession thing. What is it? Sweet drums. I didn't put sweet drums on here because I didn't have sweet drums until recently. Like I didn't really have any analog obsession plugins. So I didn't have any analog obsession plugins until recently because I didn't really know about them until recently. But once I found them, they're really good and they're free too. So like that's amazing. On main, I just have EQ. I have a limiter. Then I have span to look at the EQ curve. I do have these glitches in between like sections. It starts off with this thing. Let me play from the actual start. Then it has this one. And there's this. This. And then there's this glitch right before the chorus. I was really into, I think it's Botanica music at the time. It's like very glitchy, naturey sounding stuff, and so I got a few sample packs. These are both all free. If you want to look them up, Floral, Novel School Supplies. They're both pretty cool. And it's cool to just add some of that in like indie music because it's like not expected. But yeah, I mean, my mixing is very, very simple. It's not the most complicated thing in the world. You just gotta know what you're doing. And I think guitar tones also is a very important thing Because if you have a bad guitar tone, you can't really fix it in post. So just really nail your guitar tone. That's my advice. Also, take everything I say with a grain of salt, because I am not a professional mixer. I mean, I am going to work in a studio when I'm 16, because I've already gotten told that I can, but I'm not like a professional mixer yet. So take everything I say with a grain of salt. I am just a 15-year-old that makes music in his bedroom. I don't have like professional stuff. This is all free that you can find. The only like analog equipment that I use that's actually professional would be the Line 6 Pod Go, which I think is like $200, and then a Scarlett Solo, which is like $80 or something. And then I have a NT1, which is the mic that I'm NT1 Signature Series to be specific, which is the mic that I'm speaking into now, which is like $250 or something. But you don't need any of that to make good songs and to make good mixes and stuff. I just like having it because it makes it easier. But yeah, that's I guess I'll end this here. If you did watch the very end, thank you so much for watching. You are making my watch time go up, which I appreciate a lot. But yeah, if you like my music, definitely stay tuned, because that song that you heard before, ID10, that will come out under a different name sometime soon. And yeah, let me know if you want me to release this song and maybe come up with lyrics for it, because I don't know, it is kind of cool. But yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you learned something from this, and I hope you start making music if you haven't already. Anyways, I will see you guys another time. Alright, bye bye.